Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you a little bit about the shell that I use, and I recommend it to everyone that is working at Wiringbits. Advanced users might choose anything they like, but for people new to Linux and Ubuntu, I strongly recommend you to follow this. So the shell that I want to install is called C#, and there is a nice framework called oh-my-zh. In this particular case, I'm going to follow the official documentations from GitHub, and if we go to see the prerequisites, it mentions that we are requiring to have some tools already available. One of these, first we are going to check whether we are using C#, and in this case this is not installed. We are supposed to have a curl, which is not installed right now. We are supposed to install git, not installed either, and wget it's actually working, so let's work. But in any case, let me follow the official instructions for installing C#. So in order to install it, we are going to follow these instructions. There are two ways. One is use apt install C#, and that's pretty simple. So I am going to use and follow this instruction. Because I ubuntu apt install C#. Don't forget to run apt update before, like apt update, just to make sure that you have everything up to date in your repositories. Let's give it some time. And then I'm going to install it. C#. Then you can press the arrow up in order to check the previous command that you executed, and you can verify that C# is already installed. In case that you are not aware of, there is also a nice trick where you press the letter, you hold the key Control, and then press R, and this for the backward search. You start typing, and this is going to search for the previous command that you have executed matching this this keyword. So in this case, just a small trick for newbies. So what's next? We have installed C# now. This also mentioned that we require a git, and it also requires a curl. So I'm going to install curl, and I'm going to install git. Proceed. Give it some seconds, and then we can proceed with a C# installation. I'm going to grab this command right here, and I'm going to paste it at the terminal. You can use the right click and then paste, or you can use a Control plus Shift plus B, and this can paste into a terminal. That's another thing that people usually misses. So this is proceeding to the installation. Now, do we want to make C# the default shell? For sure, that's the whole idea. So let's proceed, and we are going to require put in our password to grant sudo privileges to the script, and then this claims that oh-my-zh is successfully installed. This is suggesting us to look into this C# resources configuration file to select plugin themes and other options, and that's what we are going to do. So I'm going to open a BIM, and I'm going to find for C# RC. BIM is what the editor that I use, but you can use your own. Then what I do, in case you are not aware, when you are typing something at the terminal and you press a tab, it will autocomplete you. Apparently I don't have been installed, so I need to install Beam 2. This is a brand new computer, so I take the opportunity to record some videos on how to set up my development environment. So this is done, and then this is giving you the choices and many links to select what to configure. Um, Now, what do I care or what do I suggest you to do? I encourage you to proceed installing some plugins so you can either scroll or find them. For example, right here it is showing you like what are the plugins that are available. So let me try finding the plugins. Enabling plugins. This is mentioning some plugins. I want to find. You can find the themes as well. I'm interested to find where the plugins are. Okay, this is the huge amount of plugins that are available in oh-my-zh. And the main reason why I recommend oh-my-zh is because of the plugins. So let me find the first plugin that I'm interested in, which is called Safe Paste. This preventing any code from actually running while pasting. So you have the chance to review what you had pasted before running it. This is super useful because it can prevent you from getting into some security issues. So I'm going to add this right here. Remember, Control Shift B, and I'm going to paste it. This is the first plugin that I'm interested. Then we already have Git. There are other plugins that you might want to choose if you are, depending on what you are working. For example, there is SBT and something for Scala. Given that we currently work in Scala quite a lot, adding SBT is useful. Scala is not very useful because we don't run a Scala command or a Scala C command directly. You might want to add something like npm if you like, or nvm. I'm not personally going to add those. I don't work too frequently with JavaScript, and in any case I know the commands from memory. And the last plugin that I recommend you to install is this one, per directory history. This is a super useful plugin. I will give you one example on what happens in one moment. So there are plugins for Ruby, Go, and others. But anyway, so this plugin is adding a history for all the directories as well as a global history and toggling between those. Let me show you what it means. I'm going to save this file. I think that's all that I'm interested in. Yes, that's it for now. In BIM you press the escape key and then you write the colon, W for write and Q for quit. This is going to close my editor. So I was telling you that if I press up the arrow up, I can see the history of the commands that I had written before, and that's useful for sure. But if I move, for example, to desktop, I'm going to be able to see exactly the same commands that I have used all in my whole terminal history. Such thing is pretty annoying. So let me exit from this shell. Sure, it's actually pretty weird to know whether I am using a C shell right now or whether this is my normal shell. But the way that I can verify this, I am going to go to my repository. I'm going to clone this repository from S. I'm going to clone this repository. And now I am here. And what I can tell you, just from looking into the shell because of the plugins, is that oh-my-zh shell is not running right now, and C shell is not my current shell apparently. So if I get into this with C shell, which is going to happen once you restart your computer or close the session and open it again, and it must be working. Now, launching C shell, you will see a difference. With the Git plugin, this is displaying me what's the current branch on the repository that I am tracking right now. And if I run this command, like that build sbt, and I go to the parent directory, I cannot actually see the ls command that I actually typed before. But if I go back and I type ls, then the history is right here. This is super useful, and this is related to the per directory plugin, this one, the per directory history plugin. Because if I know how to run this command, I will usually type sbt compile run, and then I can easily know that this is the command for this project. But if I move to another project, I will be able to see what are the commands that I have executed just in this directory. And that's one of the, just because of this plugin and the Git plugin and Safe Paste, is one of the reasons why I encourage everyone to actually give C# a try. And that's it. Stay tuned for the next video.